Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing YouTubing and those who are on YouTube here in the Kingdom of Thailand, so-called YouTubers, if you will. I get a lot of questions from YouTubers from time to time regarding taxes and work authorization, and I figured it was probably high time I go ahead and just make a video on the topic. So those who are interested in YouTubing in Thailand, and there are not a few folks that have pretty heavily followed channels here in the kingdom, and the question arises, are you subject to tax for money made in the kingdom as a result of YouTubing? My rather more definitive answer than my answer to work authorization associated with YouTube, my rather more definitive answer is yes. Generally speaking, revenue departments always default to yes, you owe tax. Never ever forget that. I'm kind of joking, but as a general rule, revenue departments, be it the IRS in the United States, the Inland Revenue Service in the UK, or the Revenue Department here in Thailand, generally take the position, yes, you owe us money. That's sort of their default, if you will. That being stated, there are circumstances where folks are exempt, but with respect to YouTubing, if one is actively YouTubing here in the kingdom and they are deriving an income from that activity, I think it's fairly clear that they're going to be subject to tax liability in this jurisdiction in Thailand. That being stated, my view should not be taken as definitive on the topic. I'm the managing director of this firm. I'm not a Thai attorney. We have Thai attorneys, Thai accountants, folks that work in the corporate services area that deal with this on a much more frequent basis than I do, although I have been privy to many cases over here dealing with this issue. And the thing to take away from this video is I think you should just start from a default position of yes and try to get yourself into the best possible position or posture, if you will, with respect to tax liability here in the kingdom. Now, that being stated, in a recent article from the Bangkok Post, that's bangkokpost.com, the article is titled OTT Oversight, a Hot Topic in ASEAN. And this was a rather long article, and I urge those who are watching this video to go ahead and check it out. But there were a couple of things that I thought were noteworthy. They don't directly speak to this topic, but I'll get to why I wanted to read these quotes here in a moment. Quoting directly, policymakers also need to clearly define which types of OTT, that means over the top, that's sorts of businesses like YouTube, Facebook, Amazon, companies that are primarily operating online that Thai tax authorities have a difficult time assessing tax against, or more importantly, enforcing tax liability against. They've been, over the years, especially about 2 years ago, back in 2017, they have tried to come up with frameworks to deal with this, and largely they've been rather unsuccessful. That doesn't mean they will be forever. Again, quoting directly, policymakers also need to clearly define which types of OTT business would be taxed. OTT businesses can range from those running a free video-on-demand service with advertisements to the operators who require subscription fees for video-on-demand services without ads. Quoting further, as for YouTube, users can make money, create jobs, and become entrepreneurs who have to pay tax. Why do I bring this up? Well, I bring it up because it's more or less, lack of a better term, it's sort of a kind of a warning, or maybe sort of acting like an oracle, if you will. I don't mean to sound overly pretentious, but to provide some insight moving forward. So perhaps today they don't have the enforcement capability to deal with YouTubers, etc., in a tax and revenue gathering sense. It doesn't mean they're not thinking about it. And I think they're thinking rather hard about it because they want to go ahead and get some tax revenue associated with those revenue streams that people are deriving from doing their YouTubing here in the kingdom. So those with monetized accounts, do I think that this is something to just, the sky is falling, Chicken Little? No, certainly not. But it's something to keep in the back of your mind that you may have to be dealing with sometime in the future. And as with the video I did on the topic of work permits associated with YouTubing, it might not be a terrible idea to think about getting a work permit if for no other reason than to more clearly define one's revenue stream so as to possibly in the future mitigate being overtaxed as a result of the vagueness associated with one's revenue stream. Because while nebulousness or sort of being a nebulous sort of business can be rather beneficial under certain circumstances. There are other circumstances where that vagueness can operate against you. And when the tax department does one day have the enforcement capability to render and to collect taxes or assess taxes against individuals in this sphere, believe me, they will do so, and they're not going to do so lightly. So dealing with and possibly mitigating the negative consequences of overassessment in the future may not be a terrible idea in the present. We hope you found this video insightful. For those of you who are interested, we're trying to make videos to provide up-to-date information as soon as this information comes out. And for that reason, it may be a good idea to go ahead and click the bell button, the bell icon below, to go ahead and be updated as these videos come out, as you can go ahead and be apprised of the legal situation as it evolves.